Hello, welcome back. This is turn 31. A lot of people search for sites this turn. First things first though, researching Conjuration was completed, which takes us one step closer to summon Morrigans. I don't think we'll use much at level 5 Conjurations. The only spells that are really available to us are the Death Summons and the Earth Summons, and through my Pretender the Earth Summons as well, which I overlooked last time. Even some of the nature stuff. Like Howl is a really good spell. I think I have Nature 3 on my Pretender, don't I? Howl is a great spell though, so I might cast that sometimes. Anyway, but Morrigans of course is the target. Tzoltakaj, the Unaki, claimed the Throne of Bones in the near Kanto. That big stack of Zibalban units that we saw just lingering around Miklin's territory was actually on a throne, so maybe that was what was happening. They were just sitting on a throne for a few turns. We cast Dark Knowledge and Nurse search for sites, and Odrin and Furlan and Kieran and so on and so on and so on all search for sites. Found quite a few sites. Dark Knowledge turned up nothing. Nurse, however, did find a site in Spire Woods, which just goes to show that it is worth walking around. It's a water site that produces 1 Earth gem per turn, so that's kind of interesting. How is our Earth income? 3 per turn. It's our least, tied with fire. Odrin found 2 magic sites in Kazdupar, and Furlan found a magic site in Kazdupar. I expected there to be a death site here. I was wrong. There was not a death site here. That event really is just something else. So maybe this is evidence that there is a big necromancer dude coming, because you would assume from this big event that there'd be a death site here, but there isn't one. So you must expect something else. But as you can see, we got a Cloud Pillars, which is 1 Astral, 1 Air, an Enchanted Field, which is 1 Nature and 50 supply points, and a Mirage, which is also 1 Air. So our Air gem income is now 11 per turn, which is pretty sick. Everything else is just everybody else searching for sites, uselessly, pointlessly in fact. And there was a battle in Miklan. So, how did we do attacking Miklan's big block of PD? Well, we did cast Storm. We did throw out some little air elementals. But this fight proceeded much in the same way that the last one did, even though there's more units this time. They're still scripted to cast Gift of Flight, unfortunately, but I didn't change it yet. But it is changed for this time. So, quite straightforward. Total casualties were 1 Median Warrior and 3 Furbolg Warriors, which is nothing to sweat. Unexpected event in the Green Sink. This was a great event, look at this. The lair of a hideous troll has been found. And we found 71 gold, 2 fire gems, 1 air gem, 1 water gem, 3 earth gems, 5 astral pearls, 2 death gems, 1 nature gem, and 2 blood slaves. Although the troll itself escaped, apparently. So, perhaps we'll see him again sometime. And then, interestingly enough, the entrance to the fortification of Miklan has been breached. So, I don't know what that's about. Apparently this fort was a pushover compared to Malverni's, which I really don't understand. We don't have that many units, truthfully. 60, there's 120 there, plus another 20 there, 140-ish. That's not hardly a doom stack, is it? 1 turn to break the fort? Alright. And Get the Pliers died of a disease, unfortunately. Okay. So what's happening now? Well, Nurse is finally returning home. I might Cloud Trapeze her over here and she can continue her, she can continue wandering the lands in search of sites. Because why not? Doing anything else? Oh, of course. I am also casting one of those summon spells. Everyone says they're bad, but I'm still going to cast this one. This is Summon Springhawks. Springhawks look cool. spam lightning and they fly around and they've got storm power, I think. I'll have to double check. They're more powerful than spring. They're pretty cool. They're probably overpriced, but I am going to get slightly more than 5 because I've got an 4 caster. 20 gems required, but I am now producing 11 gems per turn, which means I make up 20 gems in less than 2 turns, right? So I'm going to at least try some Spring Hawks. Why not? So Tilt here, it's an odd name, is casting Spring Hawks. So we'll see them next turn. We'll have 5 Flying Hawks. I like that. It suddenly occurs to me that these are going to be units, aren't they? Magical mindless being that must be commanded by a mage. So I need a flying commander, ideally, to take advantage of them. Damn, I didn't think of that. Okay, well, next on the first I summon the Spring Hawks, then I look for some kind of magic flying commander to lead them. Alright, that's next on the agenda. Maybe I can craft flying boots and give them to somebody. Alright, anyway, I'm casting Spring Hawks, deal with it. What else is happening this turn? I recruited a big commander here. This guy actually, +1 morale for up to 3 squads. Every other commander I've got is just +0 morale for 2 squads, which is not very good. So this guy's actually a decent leader. And he's also a priest, which is cool, so he can build temples as well. So I recruited this guy last turn. Currently he's just searching for holy sites, which I doubt is going to find anything. But he's going to be the next guy to lead Furbolgs, once I've got Furbolgs in Black Forest. I should really be recruiting Numidian warriors, but I just can't be bothered leading them all the way down here to where the water is. At least this is slightly closer. Maybe if we attack Agartha next turn, that'll give us much easier access to our capital. We'll think about that. Yeah, maybe. I can't really continue just pushing down to the southeast. It's killing me. So we've got that commander. He's searching for sites currently. Won't find anything, but you know. Brander up here is going to be casting Dark Knowledge on these sites in this area. These provinces, rather. I really do need a better Death Gem count. I've sunk so many Death Gems into Dark Knowledge. And the majority of the sites that I've found have just been Earth sites that I've found with Nurse, like, which is kind of crazy. I think I've lost far more Death Gems than I've gained from casting Dark Knowledge, unfortunately. But sunk cost fallacy, right? I've spent so many that I can't stop spending them now. I think that's what that is. In Kazdupar, I've given up waiting for this Necromancer to attack. If he's going to attack, he's going to attack, but I'm moving the troops out. So the troops being led by Confar, the commander, are leaving. Everybody here has been given 1 Gem, and they're scripted to summon an Air Elemental, so that should replace troops. There's also 30 province defense, of course. And I'm also having one of the guys here build a lab. So from next turn, the mages will be able to sit in this province and research, instead of just sitting in the province doing nothing. So that's what's happening in Kazdupar. Temple is being built in Juek, and all my mages are moving down towards Miklan. Baller and Unbearable Pain are also moving to Miklan. The side squad, Sealan and his merry men, are attacking Osandius, and my Pretender is attacking Mammoth Grove. You can see here that Miklan is actually sieging the Haunted Woods, which is kind of funny. So we'll take all 3 of these Miklan provinces in the next 2 turns. And that just leaves Miklan. So what am I doing? Well, I decided I'll actually storm the castle. This might be a mistake, because I don't actually have that many mages here. I only have 4 sorceresses. The rest are all Furbolgs. Got 120 units. So what I've done is I've given everybody an Air Gem, and everybody is going to summon 1 Air Elemental. All the Furbolgs. And then depending on if they're Earth, then they're just going to cast Protection from Lightning and Thunder Ward to give everybody lightning protection. That's just in case the mages go, you know, they start thunderstriking and the damage gets reflected. That's what that is there for, basically. If they've got nature paths, then they'll do Air Elemental, Storm Power, Protection from Lightning, and then Tangle Vines. And they'll just be Tangle Vining, hopefully, for the rest of the fight. But they'll probably start doing Divine Arrows instead, and I can't do anything about that. Thunder Ward, Playful Torture was going to cast Storm as usual, and then Horde of Skeletons, and she'll also end casting Protection from Lightning. Again, same reason, just because if they start Thunderstriking, I want them to have lightning resistance. More summon. Superglue actually has Earth 3, so she's going to cast a big summon air elemental, not a lesser one. And then also Horde of Skeletons. Lots of Horde of Skeletons down here. So lots of air elementals and lots of skeletons, and hopefully that is enough. Because I don't know how much stuff is in the fort. Obviously not a lot of units, because we broke this fort in one turn, but you never know, it could still go awry. We can't be certain. And it is a blood-blessed Mictlan, so I don't know, I'm still a bit worried about the fight. I pay it the respect it deserves, I think. I'm not so worried that I'm not storming the fort. I'm still storming the fort, it's just, you know, I do have some reservations. But that's it for this turn. So next turn we might have captured Mictlan. And that will just leave us to clean up these last few provinces, and then we can decide whether we're going to attack Agartha or Xibalba. I still really don't want to attack TNN, I don't know why. I think I have this ingrained fear of pony nations. Because everybody talks about how cool they are. I don't know. Anyway, that's a problem with the next turn. For now, I'm done. 15 commanders doing nothing, that's all those Furbolgs in Kasdipar, isn't it? Yes. So, end turn. And I will see you on turn 32. Hello. I'll try and get through this quick because this was a difficult turn and I might talk a bit about it. Cast Dark Knowledge, no sights. Dark Knowledge, one sight in Griffin Spires. So I said there might be a death sight here, and it turns out there was. Well of Pestilence. One death gem increases death, also spreads deadly diseases. So this might explain why I had so many mages that had diseases. Because I did Cloud Trapeze them onto Griffin Spires before they moved to Juak earlier. So, yeah. Tilt, cast Summon Spring Hawks. Pretty cool. They have Strength of Spring, so at the moment they only have 5 hit points, but I assume that's because it is currently autumn. So this is the least hit points they'll ever have, I guess that means. But I like these guys. The 15 defense and ethereality is pretty good. Shock resistant and poison resistant, and they've got storm immunity, so they can fly in storms. These are a nice little addition, I think. There's only 6 of them, but I can give them to a sorceress to lead. So there we go. I did use some gems for something other than Cloud Trapeze. Search for Holy Sites, no sites. Battle in Mammoth Grove. This was just my Pretender, taking that from Mictlan. No problems there. Also for me, we had a battle in Ascendius. This was my Nemedian Warriors, taking that from Mictlan. Again, no problems there. And finally there was the battle at the fortress in Mictlan. So, I learned something here. First of all, as you can see from the walls, this is not a fortress, it's a palisades. So that explains why the fort fell in one turn. I also learned that there's nothing here. So that also explains why the fort fell in one turn. There's almost no units. Got an Eagle Priest here. Got a Spine Devil. Couple of Beast Bats. Some Blood Slaves that looks like, yep. And a couple of crappy mages. And that is it. We also see that there's blood fecundity in this province. To make the land more fertile. I'm going to put this in turbo and just watch it from on high, because as you can probably guess, this was not a difficult battle at all. In fact, it was pretty trivial. We did get to see a big air elemental though. Why has he only got 5 defense? Oh, he's fettered, okay. That's better, 20 defense. Yeah, but this fight was not difficult at all. And so falls Mictlan. Now Mictlan does still have a couple of provinces left and a couple of units left, but we're pretty much watching his demise right now. There's nothing really... He's not going to come back from this. So total casualties, 3 Nemedian Warriors, 1 Furbolg Warrior and 3 Furbolg Slingers. So, almost nothing. And we also found a Jade Knife, which is totally useless to us, but at least it looks cool in our hands. Okay, then we spied 2 battles. First we spied this battle between Xibalba and Mictlan. And apparently Xibalba has another bunch of incredible sacred units, just like Mictlan. These things look pretty sick. You've got nice, slightly above average stats across the board. And beast bats are even better. And they're blessed now, so, well, these ones aren't, but let's find one that's blessed. There we go. And as you can see, flaming weapons, undying +3, and blood vengeance means this is a major fire and blood bless and a minor death bless. So very similar to Mictlan's, but even scarier because they have flaming weapons instead of regen. So this is another incredibly... Oh wait. Undying +3. That might just be from the throne. I think the throne gives undying +3. So it might not be a death bless at all. It might just be fire blood with the throne of bones. Okay. Either way, these are pretty terrifying. What is the mage like? Wow, that is a hell of a mage as well. Holy shit. Death 3, blood 3, nature 1, fire 1. Holy 2. That is crazy. Stealthy flying. Holy shit. Alright. Well, these guys are fucking brutal. And their plan seems to be to just stand still while they get blessed, and then, yeah. We also saw Agartha fighting... Oh wait, so they lost no units, obviously. Also saw Agartha fighting. This was another pretty brutal fight. So lots of interesting units. We've got Earth Elementals. These are size 4, I think? Yeah, size 4 Tramplers with regen. And a lot of hit points. And also some Magma Children who have a heat aura and a fire shield. They're pretty interesting units. I can imagine those would be really frustrating to have on the front line because they'll just constantly deal fire damage. Then we've got some sacred units here which have a Earth Bless. And then we got these things look fucking sick as well. Great Arms, 28 hit points. They have a Mind Blast, which is range 100, precision 100, and it paralyzes. So if you see here, all these grey Jaguar Warriors are just paralyzed. And that happens every turn, they just get paralyzed by Arms. And Agartha's God is also in this fight. He's an Earth 10 snake, which is pretty sick. And currently he's scripted to cast Destruction twice and then Blade Winds. And they're the biggest Blade Winds you'll ever see. Look at that chunk. So this is a really threatening little squad of units. Which makes a total joke out of Jaguar Warriors. Okay, so yeah, unexpected event, Spire Woods. We lost 60 population because some Vine Men attacked the province. Unrest +30 in Kazdipar. A witch was caught in Ainidra, misfortune +3, magic +2. And we also found 3 water gems in Kazdipar. And then we were attacked in Spire Woods by the Vine Men. Fortunately, we repelled them. Now, do you remember a couple of turns ago we got an event in Spire Woods that gave us like 15 more province defense, and I said that will never ever be useful because of where that province is located. Well, turns out I was wrong. Turns out that was the most incredibly useful bunch of province defense we've ever had. And Acute Tooth Decay died. Okay, so why is this turn difficult? Because I don't know what to do next. My first thought was to try and set up some kind of trap in Hinafi. So I was going to Cloud Trapeze in all my Sorks plus Baller, Cloud Trapeze them into Hinafi, move the Pretender and the Numidian Warriors into Hinafi. Here's where it gets tricky though. The reason I was doing that was because if Agartha attacked Hinafi next turn, then I would have all my Sorks plus my Pretender plus the Numidian Warriors in that province. But I would need to give enough gems to my Sorks that they can fight in Hinafi, maybe spend the gems, and then spend the gems again in the following fight when Agartha attacks. And I have no way of predicting how many gems they'll spend or what they'll do or anything like that, because I just don't know what they'll do. So I need to be able to take Hinafi with just the mages on the Cloud Trapeze sort of part of the turn. Then I need to have them also set up with gems ready for the second part of the turn when a Gotha would attack. And I don't know, I just didn't feel confident about it. That's what I was tempted to do though, move everything to Hinafi that I can, and then hope that a Gotha attacks it, and then sort of bump him. You know, cast Storm, cast as many big air elementals as possible, cast Howl with my Pretender maybe, and then just try and overwhelm all those units. But I don't think I have enough I don't know, I chickened out is what happened. That was my original plan though. So instead my Pretender was just researching. I want to see if AI Agartha attacks me with this little stack of units. Or some of the units here. So he's basically defending, but there was a lab already in this province built by Micklin, presumably because he wanted to recruit these guys, these shaman. We need a temple to do that though, unfortunately. So my Pretender is defending basically, but he's researching. The medium warriors are just heading to Micklin. I'm moving everything I can to Micklin. My temple building mage is cloud trapezing to Micklin. Lots of people in Fomoria are cloud trapezing to Black Forest, and from there they will cloud trapeze to Micklin. And the army component of my army is attacking the two woods. That's these guys. Now the plan here is I'm going to attack two woods and assume that Xibalba is going to attack Icton. And then the turn after that, I assume that Xibalba might attack Kiban. And if he does, then I'm going to move everything into Kiban on the same turn and try and bump Xibalba. Which will also be a difficult fight, but at least I can lay down a storm and prevent all of those units from flying. So that's the plan currently. But whether or not it ends up like that, I don't know. But other than that, we're in a position now where I've got to assume that other people are going to be looking to invade me. Agartha must certainly want to invade me at some point. Xibalba might be looking to invade me. Tina Nog has been incredibly passive all game. He just took Fever Fens from Bogus. Unfortunately I didn't have a scout there anymore, so I mean that's a huge stack of units sitting on my borders right now. He could be attacking me. So in order to deal with that, I've started recruiting Furbolgs in Kunaral, just to sort of defend against the siege. In Fomoria I'm recruiting a Numidian champion to start leading these Numidian warriors when I've got a large number of them. He can also lead the Spring Hawks as well, of course. Recruiting as many Furbolgs in Black Forest as I can. Also want to lead those down at some point. These Furbolgs are also moving down to Micklin. So the plan next, well at some point in the future, is to maybe attack Xibalba. That if I can sort of take these provinces in this area, that would give me a nice little staging ground in this area to attack Agartha from, because then I could attack Agartha from Fomoria and from Xibalba and Micklin, if you know what I mean. I don't know, I'm kind of just sort of thinking out loud now. I don't feel comfortable about attacking into Agartha with Xibalba on my borders, because Xibalba seems like a really aggressive nation, but that, I mean, he's incredible blessed units and stuff like that. I don't know. And Agartha is still at war with Ermor in some capacity, so he might not be as much of a threat for the immediate future, but I really don't know. But anyway, so at the moment I'm taking two woods, moving stuff to Micklin, and basically just defending, and I'm just in a holding pattern until I figure out what the best next move to make is. I'll also show off research as well. This is another thing where I'm not sure what I'm doing. Why isn't... that should be much higher. So, we're going to have Morrigans next turn. At some point we'd like to have Dance of the Morrigans as well, I realised. We also want Living Clouds too, which we don't quite have yet. That's next turn. So there's still lots of stuff we want in Conjuration, but I think Summon Morrigan will be enough for now. And then the question is, what do we put our research into next? And I don't know, to be honest. Alteration gives my sorceresses Mist Form and Invulnerability, stuff like that. Not to mention Wind Guide and things like that might be quite useful. Thaumaturgy would give me some globals actually. Dark Skies, Galegate, Auspex to remote site search. What else is here? Some nice little spells. I mean, things like Frighten is always useful. We need to get some construction at some point. We can keep going in enchantment for Mass Flight, Arrow Fend. Like, there's loads of directions we could go in. I really don't know what's best. So that's another decision I have to make. This is just a rough turn. Like, I don't know what I'm doing now. I need to figure it out quick though. But we took Mictlan anyway. I'll show off the sites here. We've got the Temple of the Land. That's 1 nature gem per turn. Temple of Rain, 1 water gem per turn. Temple of the Moon, 1 astral gem per turn. And High Temple of the Sun, 3 blood slaves and 2 fire gems per turn. So we actually have blood slave income now. So we might empower someone in blood in 20 turns or so. Alright, I don't know what else to do. I'm just, this is not a good, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm worried about who to attack, I'm worried about who's going to attack me. And I need to figure something out soon. But I'll leave the turn there, and hopefully, over the next few turns, our course of action will become apparent. Maybe someone will attack us and save us the bother of having to make decisions about who to attack. Actually, one more thing I might do. Let's just send a couple of messages. Let's send one to Tinanog. Maybe not Tinanog, actually. Who are Agartha's neighbours? Yeah, okay. Tinanog is Agartha's neighbour. How do you feel about Agartha? Let's send that to Saramatia as well. I think he was at war with Zabalba now that I think about it. I'll just send the message anyway. Yeah, okay, that'll do, that'll do. I'll end the turn now. I'll end the turn now. This is a really confusing turn and I'm really not sure what I'm doing. But hey, you know, I've never been this far into a game before, so it's a learning experience. Well, that's true. Batalor I was this far into a game, but that was a very different kind of game. Anyway, I'm ending turn, I'm ending turn, I'm ending turn. Hello. We have finally done it. We have reached Conjuration level 6, which gives us Morrigans. Hooray! So I'll be summoning some of those next turn, and we can see them. Well, summoning this turn, and we can see them next turn. What else does this give us? Great Eagles. I might summon some Great Eagles, why not? I summoned some Springhawks, and they're pretty cool. I'll try some Great Eagles too, it's a lot cheaper. We can also cast Troll King's Court with my Pretender if I ever have 55 Earth Gems, which may never happen, but Hill Giant, Forest Troll Tribe, Forest Giant, I don't know, lots of spells here, but most importantly we've got Morrigans. So I'll be summoning those next this turn. I'm going to put the rest of the points into Alteration for now, just to get Mist Form, and then Invulnerability as well, I guess, if we get that far. That will make my sorceresses very, very tough. Oh, we'll get Phantasmal Army as well. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so, yeah, and we get Wind Guide. We'll get a couple of things. So that's where the points are going. After that, I'll make another decision. Might get some in construction. Might get some more in enchantment. We need to go back to Conjuration eventually as well, because at the next level we get Living Clouds, which gives us 4+ air elementals for 1 cast. Although it does cost 2 Earth Gems, 2 Air Gems. And after Living Clouds, there's Dance of the Morrigans, which is a very difficult spell to cast. 5 death, 2 air, but I'm pretty sure my heroes can both cast that with some boosters. Let me just check that. Baller has Death 4, yep, so he just needs 1 Death booster. And Drilling also has Death 4, so he just needs 1 Death booster. So that'd be pretty sick. Okay, so a bunch of people cast Cloud Trapeze to move around, including Risky Business, who's building a temple. Cast Dark Knowledge, no sights. Baller also cast Twiceborn. This is a spell that I saw in the list. I don't know where it's going to be. Was it in Conjuration? Probably not. Enchantment, maybe? Yeah. If you cast Twiceborn, then when you die, if you die in Friendly Dominion, then you come back as a... what's it called? White Mage. So I thought that might be worth casting with my quite valuable spellcasters. And I think Baller's pretty valuable. Air 3, Death 4, Priest 3. That's pretty valuable. So he has now cast Twiceborn. And if he dies within Friendly Dominion, he will return as a white. What else? Battle in Two Woods. This was me just attacking the neutrals, the Huskarls. Went fine. Lost a couple of units, but nothing too interesting. Unexpected event in Gustine Dew Forest. A swallow was seen chasing an eagle. This could be interpreted as an omen of war, so maybe I am about to get invaded. Misfortune +2, unrest +3. And an unexpected event in the Stinging Swamps. Heavy snowfalls have blocked important mountain roads. Gold -74. And then we saw a battle in Xibalba, oddly enough. A bunch of barbarians attacked him, so I guess that was an event that he got. Can I see his dominion? He's got dominion here. That might be Miklin's dominion. Misfortune. There's lots of misfortune in this area. So I guess he has misfortune skills. Okay, so what's happening this turn? I recruited a lot of scouts last turn. Every fort that can recruit a Furbolg Mage, I just recruited a scout instead. And I'm going to do that this turn as well. So that will give us a lot more scouts that we can start sending north and south. You can see all those grey arrows are all scouts. With the exception of this one, Sealan has finally brought these 14 Emelian warriors to Miklin. You remember the plan was to attack Kiba next turn and bump Xibalba. But apparently he took Keban in the last turn. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure he didn't have any units anywhere near here. I guess map move 3 and flying would allow you to invade from Wald? Is that a thing? Apparently, I don't know. So I'm just going to move everything back to Miklin. Consolidate our forces. I think I made a mistake leaving my Pretender here, because it would be very easy for Agartha to attack the Green Sink now and catch me, because I have nowhere else I can move. So that's unfortunate, but not a lot I can do about that. Everything's just moving to Miklin. I don't know. It's tempting to attack the Silver Wall instead with my Pretender to try and avoid it. But then I would be declaring war on Xibalba at the same time Agartha makes an attack against me, so I don't know. So what I've done instead, I've just scripted him to retreat. So he'll be in the Green Sink, and if Agartha does attack him, then I'll retreat instantly. We'll try and consolidate forces in Miklin, and once we've done that, we'll figure out what we're going to do. All of my casters here are casting Summon Morrigans. So we're going to have 9 Morrigans next turn. And Baller is casting Summon Great Eagles. So we'll have 9 Morrigans and at least 5 Great Eagles. And a temple. Can't forget the temple. All my units are moving into Miklin. We're going to have a lot of units in Miklin next turn. We can put together an army and figure out where we're going to go. But at the moment we have Agartha's troops on our border. We have Xibalba's troops on our border. We now also suddenly have Saramatia's troops on our border. 220 of them. That province was neutral. So he may just be using this army to attack that neutral province. I don't know. But he may also attack me next turn with that stack. I think he has better targets, honestly. But who knows. And of course, Tinanog is still sitting here with this stack. So we have lots of armies on our borders. So at the moment I'm just going to sit tight. Just 1-2 turns, just to see what happens, see if anything develops. And then if nothing does, then I guess I'll just attack Xibalba. Because why not? What else am I going to do, right? So I think that's everything for this turn. And, yep. I need to figure out exactly what I'm going to research next turn, but until then, hello. I think this is turn 34. This is a fucked up turn, so let's get to it. First of all, we got a reply from Saramatia. His war with Zababa has stalled, but he's willing to fight Agartha, so that is useful information. We got some research in alteration. That gave us, instantly it gave us Mistform. So that's a really nice protective spell for my sorceresses when they're out and about on their own and they need a bit of extra protection. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to put my points into construction next. We'll forge some boosters and things like that, and maybe a Staff of Storms as well. So that's where research is at the moment. Lots of Cloud Trapezes, lots of Summon Morrigans, some Eagles, some more Summon Morrigans, Dark Knowledge, which found no sites in Drek, some more Cloud Trapezes, Nurse Search for sites, and the remnants of the dead prophet's power have left the world. So I can now declare a new prophet. I never know what sort of unit to do this to. I guess giving it to a useless commander is the best, because then he can actually cast holy spells instead of doing nothing. That's my thinking, but I don't know. Anyway, then we were invaded by Agartha, so that's good to know. That simplifies things for us, because we don't have to worry about invading anybody now. We know that we have to invade Agartha. But he's begun the war, so he's in the better position now. So we'll have to recover. So let's see what happens, shall we? First of all, Mammoth Grove. This was the deep territory that I took from Mictlan. So he just sent quite a large bunch of units, actually. Maybe he thought my Pretender was still going to be there. So he sent the big portion of the force to take that province. He also attacked the Green Sink. Oh, let's probably show off some. I think I've showed off the units before, haven't I, though? The Earth Readers. One of the things I was checking to see was if any of these mages were carrying gems with them, just in case they wanted to cast like an Earthquake at some point, because that would be really nice to be aware of. But none of them were carrying gems that I could see. So they're just little Earth mages casting little Earth spells. There's no big force of mages anywhere that I can see, but my scouting isn't very good. And as for the units, we've seen the units before. The Great Arms are the Paralyzing Worms, the Magma Children are the Fire Dudes. So this was the force that attacked the province that had the lab and the Lizard Man that my Pretender was in. Then there was the province that I was moving my Pretender to, which was the Green Sink. So you'll recall, the first thing I did was put my Pretender on retreat instantly. So it was a good job I did that, because, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have been able to kill these guys. Maybe I would. But the big worry, I think, is that those worms will just paralyze me for like 50 turns. And eventually the units will kill me. It seems like if I want to fight into the worms, I need some chaff to soak up paralysis. So that's why I didn't want my Pretender to fight. And the other reason I didn't want my Pretender to fight, of course, is because when I saw his force, it was all of these units and all of these units together. If I'd known that it was just going to be these units attacking my Pretender, maybe I would have fought. I don't know. Like I said, the big scare, I suppose, is the being paralyzed by 7 paralyzers each turn for 10 turns. That sounds like a lot of paralysis. But who knows. Same deal, none of these mages were carrying gems. I know it doesn't show gems when you click them here. I was clicking them in the fight. They don't have gems with them. Last province he took was Assandius. This he just took with some really basic units and a basic commander. So it's not really as interesting, but that's this province here. So these are the 3 provinces Agartha just took from us. He has a stack of units here as well. So the unfortunate problem now is that because our territory is so vast, you know, he could attack any of these provinces, any of these 3 provinces, these provinces, this fort. You know, the number of provinces he could attack now it's a large number. So I don't know where to defend yet. But we'll get to that anyway. So that's what happened battle-wise. Then, on the exact same turn that Agartha invades, I guess Mictlan's god woke up? I didn't get the message about the imprisoned gods awakening or anything like that. So I don't know. But apparently we were attacked by Miklin's god. Suddenly. This thing here. Nature 9, Blood 9. I thought it had a Death Miner, but it was the throne, wasn't it? It was the Throne of Bones that was giving it the undying stuff. Yeah, so on the same turn we were attacked by Agartha, Miklin's god woke up and auto-sieged Miklin. So I can't actually get my troops out of the fort to respond to being invaded by Agartha, because first of all I have to break the siege now from this fucking thing. And this thing is going to be so tough to kill. It's got 461 hit points. And it casts, what's it called? It casts Leeching Touch on things in melee range, which as you can see are healing it for small amounts of healing. It also has 26 protection, and it has slash resistance and pierce resistance. This thing is going to be brutally difficult to kill. That's so frustrating. It does very little damage, of course. Like, it's just fighting PD at the moment, like 20 points of PD, and it's taking a long time to beat them. But they just cannot damage it. That's just so annoying. So yeah, as you can see, I'm trapped in Miklin now because I'm being sieged by his stupid god, so I can't get out. So as you can see, I'm having everything break siege, and I'll show off the army in a second. As for events, unexpected event in the Woods of Weeping. A handful of magic gems have been found in the prime of the season. 1 death gem. In Belmar, same event. Only this time it was 6 death gems. And in Glistening Dew Forest, there was a dominion change because of a charismatic preacher. That's over here. Then we got this weird thing. I don't know what this is about. A sneaking enemy was discovered by the local militia, and it was a force of independent werewolves. So now we're also under siege in Cunarol from neutrals. Like, I don't know what that's about. I have no idea. Like, this is the weirdest. What the fuck? I don't know. Is this some kind of spell somebody's cast on us? They've summoned neutral wolves? I don't think so. But who knows? Is there some neutral werewolves who decided to siege a province? I have no idea. That's so bizarre. Because it's not like there was an event or anything. I don't know. But we're under siege in Miklin from a god, and we're under siege in Cunarol from neutrals. So what are we doing this turn? Well, we're breaking siege in Cunarol. Fortunately, I have some Furbolgs, so they can tank, while my Furbolg mages, or Furbolg druids, cast whatever little spells they can manage. Hopefully I can beat those werewolves. They've made a mess of my PE, so we'll have to see. What else can I do? I've got to try and break the siege, so yep. Thanks, werewolves. Moving a scout out. In Fomoria, I'm casting Summon Morrigans, because obviously we're going to want to put together a force of units in Fomoria. We have some Nemedian warriors already, plus the Spring Hawks. We'll recruit some more Nemedian warriors, and I guess we'll start moving out next turn. In Woods of Weeping, I'm moving all the Furbolg druids to Black Forest, and the same story here. We're going to put together another little army here. So we'll have Furbolgs and Furbolg druids in Black Forest, and we'll have Nemedian warriors and Morrigans and Nemedian sorceresses in Fomoria, and those will start attacking Agartha from the north. And then, meanwhile, down by Miklin, we'll try and put together, our main army to deal with Agartha from this direction as well. But in terms of what we can do this turn, not a lot. We're breaking siege in Cunarol, we're breaking siege in Miklin. I've set my mages up to just cast Thunderstrikes. That statue of the Bloody Mother doesn't have any lightning resistance, so that seems like a good way to punch through. 460 hit points would be a lot of Thunderstrikes. Yeah. So that's just what the army looks like. We now have the Morrigans, of course, so I can show off these guys finally. These guys are the sickest units I've ever seen. They're sacred, they have fear, 5 fear in fact, 15 cold resistance, 25 poison resistance, they're undead, so they can be banished unfortunately. They fly, and they're stealthy, and they have the glamour, so they have mirror image. So their bonuses are amazing. Their stats are incredible. 20 defense is sick. 15 attack, 30 morale. I guess that's because they're undead, it gets really high, I'm not sure. 16 magic resistance, 14 protection, which will go even higher because they are sacred, so they'll get a small amount of protection from the Earth Bless. And 17 hit points. And no encumbrance because they're undead, so they don't accrue fatigue. The only unfortunate thing is that they don't have storm immunity, so whenever I cast storm they won't be able to fly. But that's a small niggle. These guys are amazing, they're really, really good units. I have 9 of them. So we'll try to summon as many of those guys as we can each turn. Spear of the Morrigan. Extra effect on damage. Decay. Anyone wounded by the weapon will also be struck by decay. And a partial life drain. Oh, I didn't even check the weapon. So the weapon that they have is also a life draining weapon that causes decay. That's sick! So yeah, Morrigans are pretty amazing. We also got some great eagles. These are pretty cool as well. These things are gigantic. They're size 6 eagles. And they have a siege bonus. And a patrol bonus. So they count as 10 units for the purposes of sieging a fort, which might actually be really useful for us. Because we had a lot of trouble sieging a fort about 15 turns ago. So these would actually be really useful to have along for fort sieging. And they're a 2 attack per round flyer with map move 4, so you know, whatever, they're pretty good all around. So I'm glad I summoned a couple of those. I might summon a few more. I'm actually running out of Urgems at the moment though. I don't know why. I don't know where they've all gone, but I'm running out of Urgems. Anything else happening this turn? Let me think. There's a couple of small little things happening. I'll just check my forts. These guys are all breaking siege. They're casting Summon Morrigans. Filbogs are moving. In Mictlan, 2 of my mages are casting Seeking Arrow at Osandius. Because Osandius is the army that is only led by a commander. So if by some fluke I manage to kill that commander with 2 Seeking Arrows, then all those units are going nowhere, because they won't have a commander. So that's my thinking there. In general, Agartha's commanders seem pretty resistant to Seeking Arrow stuff, because they have a lot of hit points. This guy has 40 leadership, he has 18 hit points. Seeking Arrow ain't gonna kill him. Engraver, oh this guy has no leadership, okay, but still 18 hit points. Seeking Arrow is not gonna kill him. But I'll try 2 Seeking Arrows and see if I can kill the commander in Ascendius. Because if I do, that'll be great. So we're breaking siege in Mictlan. My Pretender's moving back to Farah, and all the units I had defending Kazdupar are also moving to Farah. They're going to form a sort of defensive force, I guess. My hope will be I can move this whole bunch of stuff here, move it into a province just before the province gets attacked, and then by virtue of my Pretender fighting backed up by air elementals, they can just defend against anything. The really unfortunate thing here is that Iranak, the Nemedian sorceress, is so late in the turn order. Like literally second to last before Storm gets off, which is really annoying. But of course if they are on the defense they will move first at least, so that's a small fortune. Any other movements? I don't think so. Lots of scouts moving around. Anything I need to do, of course, is Saramati said he's willing to fight Agartha, so let's let him know. Alright, I'll send him that. I won't tell him that I've been attacked already. I'll make it sound like I'm invading Agartha, so like I'm in the I'm in the driving seat, and yeah. So hopefully we can get Saramati in on the war against Agartha. Yeah, because Saramati can go through Mictlan's provinces here and attack from kind of his south. It's more of his southeast, I suppose. And I can attack from his north and his east. That only leaves the only wildcards now are TNN and Zibalba. TNN didn't reply to me, but I did send a pretty shitty message, but whatever. I was in a rush. Zibalba. I'll send hello to Zibalba. Greetings. Alright, there we go. That's the message to Zibalba. And that's it for this turn, I think. So, lots of stuff happening, but none of it is none of it. Next turn we're going to lose a lot more provinces, I think, from Agartha. And we'll have to figure out... Hopefully we kill that bloody mother that Mictlan is attacking us with minimal problems. So then next turn we can figure out exactly what we're going to do to respond to Agartha. We'll start moving out troops from the north, and we'll try and catch some armies down here. And yeah, so look forward to that. And I'll see you next time. Oh no, please don't stall. Please don't stall. Game, please. Alright, well, I'm nervous now. I don't know what happens when the game freezes like this. I hope it saved all my turn, because I don't want to have to do all that again. Right, well, I'm gonna stop recording now, and I'll let you know what happened with this turn. So tune in next time. Hello, this is an interesting turn. I think it's 35 as well, which would be the end of the video, so this is a nice place to end the video as well. Okay, so research and construction completed. Yeah, we got some construction. Not enough to actually build any items yet though. We could build corpsemen. Don't know what that is. Who cares? We'll keep doing construction so we can afford some boosters. Summon some Morgans. We cast Seeking Arrow twice, remember. We were trying to kill the commander in Ascendius. First arrow hit. Head of the enemy's heart. Now I'm not sure if that means it killed or it just wounded or whatever when I get a message like that. I assume it means it hits, but then you don't actually know whether it killed them or whether it just wounded them or whatever. In this case, the second message is that I didn't find a suitable target. So from that, I think we can assume that we hit and killed the commander. And if you see, these worms are still in Ascendius. They didn't go anywhere. So I assume that what we wanted to do, which was kill the commander, prevent those worms from moving, and I think that is exactly what happened. So, in terms of proof of concept, I think that worked extremely well. And whenever I can, I think it would be a good idea to try and pick off little commanders like that with arrows, because it's pretty cheap and seems quite effective. Cast Dark Knowledge, no sights. I think in every game where I start using the remote sight searching spells, I always end up regretting it. And in this case, no different. I'm so regretful that I ever started casting this stupid spell. 4 gems every time I cast it, and it's found me pretty much nothing. But I'm not going to stop now because I've already sunk so many gems into it. Which I know is terrible logic, but what are you going to do? Proclamation from Fomoria. After the end of the last video, I decided to declare my unmarked champion. That was the new commander that I recruited. Decided to declare him my prophet, because why not? Okay, so let's get to some battles, shall we? First of all, AI Mictlan attacked Agartha's scouts. I don't know what this is about. That's over here. So, sure, why not? Balancing Sands. I'm gonna have to try and reorient myself now, remember where everything is. Cause this is a big turn for me, but I'll get to that. Okay, so Searing Sands was the little army that was over here. This army isn't too intimidating because it has quite a few ancient ones. These guys are the Sacreds that have extremely high hit point pools. But other than that, Pale ones are quite poor. 10 defense, 2 protection, 8 attack. They do have a lot of hit points, but I don't get the sense that these are going to be too threatening. And Pale 1 militias are even worse. Look at these. These things are never going to hit anything. So the only units of any consequence here are the ancient ones. So that's all we need to watch out for. But of course, this force is also just led by commanders. So you know what that means. So that's Searing Sands over here. We have a weak army led just by commanders. I don't think it's worth watching that battle. Battle in Belmar. This one's quite interesting because we got attacked by some Grey Lords and a Grey Knight. So let's check these guys out. Now this is a very small force, which makes me wonder if the intention was to merge these with those worms. But then again, they're also incredibly difficult to hit and kill. They're ethereal with protection 18, defense 17, so... You know, and they're a lance charge unit. So these guys are amazing units. They're going to be great for capping provinces on their own. So perhaps not. Perhaps they didn't even need the worms. But that was in Belmar. Those guys took that. The Grey Lord Commander has 14 hit points. I'm not sure that a Seeking Arrow is going to kill that guy. But you never know. Then there was a battle in Mictlan. Alright. Let's watch this. You can tell from the following message that we did win, but gonna go ahead and say it. This battle was a fucking disaster, and easily the worst mistake I've made in the whole game. By far. Nothing comes remotely close to how bad this fight goes. I made a huge error in the way I approached this. Look at all those Thunderstrikes just missing, just doing no fucking damage at all. I thought that I'd just dump a bunch of Thunderstrikes on this thing and it would be dead in, you know, 4 or 5 turns. I thought, yeah, it's got a big hit point pool, but it also has no lightning resistance. So, you know, Thunderstrike hits for like, you know, 20, 30 damage or something. I thought, with all these mages, it'll just die really quickly. Did it die really quickly? No. My dude's now stopped casting Thunderstrike completely. It's just skeletons. But the skeletons can't even get to the fucking the mother statue, because all my stupid units are in the way anyway. So since this is how the battle is going to go, what I should have done is first of all not brought any units to this fight, because why bother? This thing doesn't move. I should have only brought mages. I should have put my mages all the way back and just cast Horde of Skeletons every turn. Just nothing but skeletons, and it would have eventually won. Instead, all my units are just punching this thing to death, while my casters cast skeletons and Phantasmal Warriors and nothing else. And I'm gonna spare you having to watch all remaining 200 hit points, but we lost a lot of units. Most importantly, we lost all 9 Morrigans. So these things cost 4 death gems to summon, remember. So that's 36 death gems blown on that fight, which is a massive loss for nothing. Lost half our Furbolg Warriors, 9 Nemedian Warriors, some Slingers. But we lost all the Morrigans and half our Furbolgs. That's a huge fucking blow. I'm stupid, is what we learned from that fight. I'm really stupid. I should have just Skelly spammed it to death. I don't know what I was thinking. But we did eventually kill it. And yeah. But that's easily the worst loss we've suffered in this whole game, and it was against the fucking AI statue. So that says a lot about how fucking good I am at this game. Then there was a battle in Cunarel. This was another fort that we had to retake from AI. This time it was werewolves. I like watching this fight just because you get to see all my little Furbolgs chucking out their little spells. And they do some damage, you know. The Vine Arrows get a few kills. There we go, there's a kill. Lots of little spells. The Javelins are what do the most damage to these guys though. Then we've got some Earth Grips, some Tangle Vines, more Vine Arrows. Yeah. Those werewolves didn't stand a chance. Alright. So we took back Cunarel at least, so that's... thank heaven for that. Finally, battle in Balcoria. This was the other small group that Agartha had. As you can see, it's not too threatening. All these units are quite good, I think. The Earth Elementals are quite scary. They do have low protection and low defense, but you know they do have a big hit point pool and they regen, so that kind of makes up for it, I guess. The ancient ones are the Sacreds with 40 hit points. When they get blessed, of course, they get even more protection. It goes up to 16, I think. And the Great Arms do a 100 range, 100 accuracy, paralyze. Again, not a lot of units, but they're scary enough. So that took Balcoria. Then for events, we got this strange event. An inspirational leader has appeared. Let's go check him out. This is this guy. I named him Snake Eater, for reasons that will become apparent. He's an inspirational leader, so that's nice. +1 morale to... you can only lead 2 squads with +0, but he gives them +1 morale. Fine, you know, a 40 leader. Sure, I'll take it. Rusty Badlands, some negative tax and income. And in the hole, a satyr has been caught, skulking by military encampments. I think I've had this event before, and I think in a few turns it means I'm going to get attacked by Vine Men or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. So we might lose the Hole again. The Hole is an unlucky province. And then we lost a scout in Zabalba. Okay. Now this turn is fucking crazy. First thing we have to go over is where Agartha's troops are. Okay, so he has this army here, led by the 2 commanders. This army isn't very scary. I don't know where it's going to go. I have no idea where it's going to go. My assumption would be he takes the caves, because I know Agartha likes caves. But I don't know if that's... I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. My assumption is he'll go for the cave. If I'm really lucky, he'll go to Ashington, and then my my Numidian warrior squad with the Morrigans and the Springhawks will catch him and kill him. I need to script these guys as well. I'll remember to do that when the video ends. But yeah, that's my hope, is he moves to Ashington. He probably won't. I think he'll go into the cave. We've got the Grey Knights over here. We've got the little group of special units here. We've got the big group of special units here. We haven't actually seen that this turn. But as you can see, it's got mainly Great Armed Magma Children, Earth Elementals, and there's 60 units. And then here he has these worms that no longer have a commander, but, as you can see from the description, his pretender is in this province. So his pretender could be leading these worms now. So pretender here, Grey Knights, small squad of special units, big squad of special units, commander-led squad of crap units. Alright? Okay, that's all of Agartha's units. So what am I doing? First of all, my Numidian warriors are moving here. They're going to move towards Agartha's lands. Slowly, of course. They have to go map move 1 through all this shitty terrain, but can't do much about that. I assume they're going to end up chasing this squad into the cave. In Fomoria, I have Precision Excision casting Seeking Arrow on this group. Now, there's 2 commanders, but unfortunately I only have 1 guy who can cast Seeking Arrow. One of the commanders in Searing Sands is actually his prophet, which I have no way of showing, but one of them is a prophet. So in my Dominion, that prophet has 6 hit points, so if the arrow hits him, he's dead. There's no way he survives that, I don't think. So we're going to hit that with an arrow, and next turn we'll hit it again with an arrow, hopefully killing, you know, a commander each turn, and then that army will be useless, and my Numidian warriors will be able to clean up after it. Okay, next I'm going to defend these 3 provinces here. Alright, Gilgud is going to defend against movements from this small army. So to Gilgud I'm sending lots of Furbolgs, the Furbolg warriors, and a couple of Numidian sorceresses, plus these crappy units, the wow, that guy is hella wounded. The Slingers, the Little Archer, a couple of Great Eagles. The Great Eagles are quite cool actually. Yeah. The Furbolgs are set up to just cast summon lesser elementals, and you're going to be seeing that a lot this turn. The Numidian sorceresses, 2 of them are Skelly spammers, 2 of them are Thunderstrike spammers. You can pause the video if you want to look at all those spells, but that's just what that setup is. These units are just hopefully trying to catch the army that's currently in Valkyria. Next is the Rusty Badlands. I'm also moving units here. This is my Pretender, plus the, you remember this army. This hasn't changed, this script for this. It's the 1 Sorceress with Storm, plus a bunch of Furbolgs also casting Summon Lesser Elemental. So they're moving to Rusty Badlands. They will either defend against this squad or the Grey Knights, or both. He could move both of those into Rusty Badlands. So we have a defensive squad in Gilgud, a defensive squad in Rusty Badlands. In Honoria, this one is adjacent to his Pretender, remember? And his Pretender is really difficult to kill. So to Honoria I'm sending all of these Furbolgs, plus my Prophet, plus all of these Furbolg Druids, which as you can see are set to cast Aim, Summon Storm Power, Lesser Elemental, so more Lesser Elementals. And also to Honoria I'm sending all the sorceresses in this province. You can see they're casting Cloud Trapeze, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sorceresses, and they're scripted like this. Summon Storm Power, Summon Air Elemental, Mist Form, Horde of Skeletons, Horde of Skeletons. So they're all just on sort of Skelly spam duty after they've summoned an Air Elemental. So, in Honoria, there will be all these units, plus those 5 sorceresses, who will also summon major Air Elementals. And that's hopefully to defend against his Pretender. Now his Pretender could also attack Glistening Dew Forest, nothing I can do about that, I can't defend that province. these three are the only ones I can reliably defend with decent amounts of troops to match what he has nearby. So next turn, if we're lucky, there'll be 3 fights next turn, all in each of these provinces, and they'll all be victories, but I don't know. So just to go over those again, Gilgad is all these guys. And that's to defend against the units in Valkyria, which is these guys. At Rusty Badlands, it's my Pretender plus the Storm Trap. That's to defend against, who knows, maybe the Grey Knights, maybe these as well. Not sure exactly. And in Honoria, it's all these units to catch his Pretender, hopefully, plus the Nemedian Sorceresses in Fomoria. Alright, you got all that? Alright, because believe me, this took a long time to set up. The rest of the units in Mictlan are heading to Valkyria, hopefully to catch the army in the Green Sink, because I assume that's going to move up. So this is quite a big army. This has all my Nemedian warriors that are here, and a lot of Skelly spam. Couple of Thunderstrikers. It's got Baller and Drilling, which is fairly safe because my Dominion is in this province. Baller is the Storm guy. Drilling is just on Skelly spam. He's very good at it. Lots of Skeletons, 3 Thunderstrikers, and even the Nemedian champion, Creeping Pain, can do lightning bolts as well. So this is a pretty large amount of units, and hopefully that'll catch whatever's in the Green Sink that moves there. I know it doesn't look like much, but that took a long time setting up and scripting. And it'll be really exciting to see what happens next turn. Will it all go well? Will I overlook something and it's a waste of time? Will I lose all the fights because I'm bad? I don't know. But I think that was kind of cool setting all that up. And as you can see, I've got a lot of scouts heading down. These guys are all going to slowly feed into Agarth's territory. I've stopped recruiting scouts now that I'm back on recruiting druids. My upkeep is really high, but so is my income, so that's not too much of a problem. Big problem now is I've run out of air gems. I've actually started to alchemize some. But I do have plenty of spur gems lying around that I can alchemize into more gems, if need be. And that's it for this turn. I need to replenish my stock of Morrigans as well at some point, but that'll be a while. Okay. And I'm going to submit a partial turn here because I might want to redo... I might want to come back to it a little bit later, maybe tweak a few things. But the bulk of everything you just saw is going to be accurate. So I'll mark that as unfinished. And I'll see you on turn 36 in the next video. Wish me luck.